Welcome back, Shalloners. Today is Valentine's Day, or as we know it around here, Shallontine's Day. Because we celebrate Valentine's Day a little bit differently than everyone else, don't we? We don't make this a holiday just about like Hallmark cards and a Whitman sampler from Rite Aid and boys. No, we make it about ourselves and loving ourselves, not just dudes, because dudes are constant disappointment and we are not disappointments to ourselves. So today, speaking of disappointments, we're actually going to talk about exactly that. We're going to do a story time about my best and worst Valentine's Day, and we're going to read some of your Valentine's Day horror stories. Oh my God, they're literally so bad. And for more, check out my new podcast, my special Valentine's Day, Shallontine's Day episode of Girl on Top, out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and every place else you get your podcast. So check that out. It's really fun. Also, I hope you like my shirt. It's from Just Fab online. It's really comfy and cute. And this is from Claire's. I know, I'm such a doofus. I like wearing this bow. I feel like JoJo Siwa, who by the way is like 6 feet tall and chain smokes. Right? Not. Have you ever heard her voice? She talks like this. I'm like, oh my, just okay. So before we get into it, just want to remind you guys to follow me on Instagram at ShallonXO. Oh, and I'm also on Cameo. Isn't this so exciting? Cameo's super fun. You can book a shout out, a pep talk, like a birthday wish for a friend. I'll even break up with someone for you if you want to ruin their Valentine's Day. But Cameo's super fun. Just head on over to the app and you can book me for a little video shout out for one of your friends or for yourself. All right. Worst Valentine's Days. Oh my God. I've been dumped on not one, but 2 consecutive Valentine's Days. 2 consecutive ones. This was in, I want to say like 2013. 2013. And my boyfriend, Kyle, had stolen me from one of his friends. So I was dating his other friend, Ben. And Ben seemed to kind of like hate having me around. Like we liked each other, but you know what, looking back, do you know what it was? It was that he was Jewish and he was always going to marry a Jewish girl from like Westchester or whatever. And I was just kind of like what he was like, his like Rumspringa. I don't even know what you call it. Not slumming it, but sort of like studying abroad in his own life and like fiddle farting around with like the blonde Christian chick who it was very obvious he was going to marry a girl named Jacqueline. And literally he did. Literal name is like Jackie with like a Q and an I and 2 U. It's just vowels every which way. Enough. So he was not like super good about holding on to me and we were like fighting a lot. And then his friend Kyle came in and was like kind of scooped me out from under it. Looking back also, that's probably not someone I should have dated because clearly it didn't have to do with me. Like I was just like this pawn in their weird like friendship revenge game. But I was like, every boy likes me so much. Girl, you got to get some self-esteem and wake the F up. So Kyle and I dated and like I met his family. Like our families, like they didn't spend Christmas together, but like I went up to his family's house in California and then he came and met my mom. Like we were, I don't know, I thought like on a good path. Then comes Valentine's Day. And you know, it's like your intuition knows when you're in a car going 1,000 miles an hour towards a brick wall, you know? Like he was pulling away, he was acting kind of weird. And it's like, you can call someone out on it, but they're not gonna be like, oh yeah, no, I'm planning on dumping you. I'm just not there yet, but that's 100% what I'm planning. You're like, that is 100% what you're planning. He came over to my house on Valentine's Day and I looked like great. I was ready for dinner. I had a present for him. Like he was my boyfriend, you know, and it was our first Valentine's Day together. I was super excited. And he gets me this big, it's like a subway map of New York City that he had this like graffiti artist like spray paint and it said like downtown girl. I guess it was like earlier than 2013, whatever it was. Cause I had a show on MTV called Downtown Girls. And he's like, yeah, you know, I just wanted to give this to you as like a Valentine / like friendship present. And I was like, wait, a what? He's like, Valentine. I was like, no. That's not the word that caught my attention, Kyle. The word that caught my attention was friendship. It's a friendship present? He's like, yeah. I'm like, are you breaking up with me on Valentine's Day? He's like, I didn't want to do it yesterday, the day before, because then that would have ruined your Valentine's Day. I'm like, do you think this isn't ruined right now? I mean, do you think I'm still going to have a good Valentine's Day? And he's like, well, I still have reservations. I still wanted to take you to dinner. I was like, what? And my dumb ass went. Because it's so weird. It's like, to anyone else and to looking, like on the outside looking in, it's like, are you that stupid? The answer is yes. Evidently I am. Like I really was. But you're just kind of like caught up in the moment and you're like in denial and you're like, okay, I don't know. I don't know if I thought like, I just need to have one more dinner with him to convince him to love me. Like clearly he just didn't have enough data and he needed one more dinner's worth of data to realize he was in love with me. And then he was gonna undo this breakup. No, first of all, that's not how it played out. Very much stuck to his guns on dumping me on Valentine's Day. Definitely wanted to stay friends. I was like, I have plenty of friends. I don't need you as a friend. And I talked about this in the last podcast. Don't be friends with an ex. Don't be friends with a guy who's not ready to commit right now. Oh, I'm going through some things. Stop putting your friendship on the clearance rack. Stop devaluing the idea of friendship that you're just like, poop, 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 poop. Oh, yeah, I'll give it out to, oh, you want to fuck around with me and waste my time and dump me on Valentine's Day? Yes, I want to reward you with my friendship. I am very often a shitty girlfriend. I am a lazy employee, but I am a top-notch friend. I drop everything for my friends. They've come before everyone but my mama, like absolutely everyone. And that's why I'm not friends with exes. I'm like, I know the value of my friendship. I know exactly the value of it. And I don't just give it away to people who haven't earned it because I hold friends higher than who I'm dating. So it's like, okay, you couldn't meet this low metric of boyfriend and you think you deserve to be higher? You think you deserve to be in the friend category? Absolutely not. And I guarantee you're a good friend too. I guarantee that you are. So when you tell a guy like, okay, yeah, we can be friends. No, that's fine. The only reason he wants that is number one, he doesn't want to feel like the bad guy. Men are motivated by two things, pussy and not feeling like the bad guy, right? They cannot stand sitting inside the consequences of their own decisions. They can't stand it. So instead of being like, you know what? I broke this girl's heart. I dumped her on Valentine's Day. I feel like a bad dude. And I just have to live with that and promise myself, hey, maybe next time I'll break up with a girl when I first start to feel it and not wait until literally the only holiday on planet Earth that's about love and do it then for her. No. They're like, but maybe if she says she'll be friends with me, then I can tell myself, see, this isn't a big deal. This isn't a big deal. Who cares? I can dump every girl on Valentine's Day because they reward my negative behavior with something positive, and that's friendship. And who do we have to blame there? Only ourselves, right? Only ourselves. Look how on brand I am. This is love. My mom got it for me for Christmas. Isn't this such like a mom gift, you know? She's like, J-Lo has a bedazzled cup. I'm like, yeah, she does. Whatever J-Lo has, I want. Except, of course, for the guys she dates. What a tragedy, right? So don't be friends with a dude who doesn't want to date you. Because you're basically an unpaid intern in your own life. That's what that is. You're saying, hey, I'll work for free. I'll give you my emotional labor, my stability, all that shit. And what are you going to give to me? Nothing. That's right, nothing. You don't want his friendship. That doesn't mean anything. Because what he's going to do is he's going to keep you on the hook as an emotional fidget spinner and a soft place to land when he's got a bad day, or a place to land another body part when he's drunk or horny. But then when you're like, hey, wait, what's going on? It's going to be like, whoa, babe. I told you I just wanted to be friends, right? And you know who you're going to have to blame? Yourself. Because on some level, you knew this wasn't right. You don't have neutral feelings towards this dude. I didn't have neutral feelings towards Kyle. I should have gone to dinner with someone who I was in love with and who was not in love with me. Why would I have done that? Clearance rack. Beggar's mentality. Oh, you want to give me scraps? Okay. Oh, God. Cut to 365 days later. I was dating this boy, Jack, and he was such an asshole. Like, he He was the worst kind of boy because he was a boy who felt like life had somehow wronged him. Life had fundamentally wronged him. Let's go down his stats. Would you like to know his stats? Tall, cute, big dick, great in bed, went to Yale, wrote for The Onion. He was like the editor or something. Like he was doing something creative that was self-actualized and self-fulfilling. He went on to write for like a TV show. Like he is a very successful person. Funny, lived in New York City, and he had this chip on his fucking shoulder that life had just wronged him. And I remember saying, what are you lacking that makes you so sour all the time? And how I knew he was sour and how I knew he was a beta is that he was never happy for me in my career. At the time, I was like a gossip writer for the New York Daily News, right? I wasn't gonna win a Pulitzer. I wasn't gonna like crack a major news story. I wasn't gonna be an embedded reporter, but I was writing real news. He wrote for The Onion, okay? It's fake news. It's very funny and it's very creative, but he looked at me like he wrote for the New York Times. I'm just this intellectual and you're just this flibberty gibbet. I'm like, really? And I remember, I think I published one book by that time and he like shit all over it. He said it was so stupid. It's a fiction book. I'm like, so is The Grapes of Wrath. Like, so is A Tale of Two Cities. Like, sorry that I didn't write like the New Economist Handbook. Like, okay. And I was filming my reality show. Yeah, okay, so this was like reality show time. Maybe Jack came before Kyle. You know what? Who knows? It's all just this swirling mass of misery in my mind. And I wanted Jack to like, they were gonna film my birthday party. And he's like, absolutely not. I would never go to that. I never want to be part of this stupid show you're doing. He just like blasted me. And I was like, wow, so that's how you feel about me. And I remember saying, why are you so competitive with me? I'm not competitive with you at all. I want you to achieve. I want you to get a promotion and do whatever. Like, I'm happy for you when good things happen. And all you do is hate on me. What the fuck did I ever do to you? Like, we were boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm like, what did I ever do to you to make you resent me like this? What did women in general do to you? I can't remember if he had mom issues or whatever, but he had some kind of issue. And I dated dudes like this, like after him. And it's just like, stop competing with me. I'm not competing with you. I'm more of an alpha male than you are. I'm daddy here. You're the little beta. So things were kind of like, not falling apart, but they weren't going ultra well. We'd been together for like 3 months or something. And, you know, 3 months is really like a make or break point, right? You know, it's like you can take off and be like, okay, we're on the track to saying I love you and doing all this stuff, or you can dump a girl on Valentine's Day. So he came over and I was like, I'm just so excited to like have this time. Like, we've been both so busy, blah, blah, blah. He didn't even take off his backpack. He's like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And I was like, what can't you do? He's like, I can't have a girlfriend. I was like, do you understand that you have had a girlfriend for the past 3 months? This is another thing that makes me insane about men. When they're like, I'm not ready for a girlfriend right now. And I'm like, that's funny because you have had a girlfriend for the last 4 to 6 months. Do you know that? We spend 4 nights a week at each other's house. I met your family. You've hung out with all my friends. I brought you to events. Do you understand what a girlfriend is? It's this. It's this, bro. And they're like, oh, I can't do it. Livid, 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 heartbroken. And I think I was pregnant. I mean, I don't know. But it's like I got my period like 2 days later and it felt like violent. And I was like, oh my God, am I having like a miscarriage? And I'm like, if that motherfucker actually like dumped me on Valentine's Day while I was pregnant, wow. And if I ever run into him, I'm going to tell him that's exactly the case. Fight me on it. You want to compete with me? You compete in all categories. You want to compete in career? You can compete in vengefulness and pettiness. Guess who is going to win? Me. Hopefully I'll never have to run into him. And like, it was just such a waste of a personality. Like, he could have been so like, he was cool. He was so smart. He was so cute. He was like awesome, but he had this like chip on his shoulder. And it's like, I am so tired of playing therapist for boys I didn't break. I had nothing to do with whatever was going on with him in his mind. Maybe I was a handful as a girlfriend. Maybe he didn't respect me, but it's like, bro, you knew who I was when we met. Like, you knew who, like, what I was about. I didn't like portray myself as like a UN delegate. Like, Okay. It was just so sad. But my tales of woe are not as sad as your tales of woe. Okay, but wait, let me talk about my best Valentine's Day. Okay. So my best Valentine's Day, I've had some really good ones. I remember in 8th grade, my 8th grade boyfriend, we like never even kissed or held hands, but he gave me like a disposable camera and a picture frame, and he said, this is for capturing all of our Kodak moments. And he made me chocolate covered strawberries, and like it was so cute. And I still say that that's like a good go-to gift, like a disposable camera, a frame, like literally with that exact inscription. Like, Ryan, you set the bar so high. But one of the best ones I remember as a standout was my ex-boyfriend Max. This was we weren't together this one. So like last Valentine's Day, maybe the one before. Oh yeah. Anyway, he bungled it making reservations, and I was like, gee, if only this day came on the same date every year and there was some sort of way to plan and make a reservation. But still, we went someplace like good, whatever. I was, like I got over it. And at dinner, he's like, are you ready for your gift? I was like, yes. He slides a stack of ones, like a brick of ones across the table. I was like, you're giving me money? He's like, I'm giving you the gift of oiled up titties in your face. And he took me to a strip club. It was so fun. Like, I like strip clubs. I think they're so fun. I liked watching him get a lap dance. I'm not a jealous person, and like I just thought he was so hot. Like, I liked watching him from another angle. If only that I'd seen that as a red flag, that he liked other girls a lot. Liked him a whole lot. Anyway, but the reason that was such a fun Valentine's Day is because it was so authentic to us. It wasn't, how is this going to look on social media? Like, how am I going to compare this to my friends who got like jewelry and the roses and the very like typical and cliche, like checking the box Valentine's Day stuff. Like, this was a gift that showed he knew me. And he knew what I liked. And it was so emblematic of our relationship. It's like, we didn't give a fuck. We were having fun. We were doing what was authentic. We were keeping it fun and spicy. And like, if other people didn't like it, or it looked stupid, or it seemed weird, screw them. And that was like really, really thoughtful to me. And that's really what I wanted. So now we gotta talk about your horror stories. Okay. So I asked you guys on my YouTube to share with me some Valentine's Day horror stories, and oh my God. So the ones I share in here, they're not the ones we're going to share in the podcast. We're going to do some different ones. Oh my God. Some are. Okay, so Claire said, I, the side hoe, love that she calls herself out, had sex with a married man 10 years my senior and gave him a hat as a present for Valentine's Day while I didn't get shit. Boo-boo the fool. Oh my God, Claire, I'm so sorry. But it's like this. Exactly. Like, you're mad at yourself. Like, you're not necessarily mad at him. I mean, of course, but it's like when we're in this situation where we're the side chick, or when we do something like we get a guy a gift and like we don't get anything back. It's like on some level we knew that was a possibility, and we're so mad at ourselves because it's like, oh yes, here comes my bullshit greeting me in the face. I've been expecting you. Oh my God. Okay. Gabriella said, my boyfriend at the time just texted me once that day, Happy Valentine's Day, and I didn't hear from him all day. The following day, I go over to his place and said he bought himself roses because there was a big bouquet there. LMAO! Like, who are you fooling, boo-boo? He had a whole other girlfriend. And apparently she bought him flowers. Clown. Beta clown. Beta clown. Oh, okay. A guy I was hooking up with in high school showed up at my house on Valentine's Day and gave me a rose, which sounds nice, but I'm sure it was one stop of many because the rose wasn't individually wrapped. I think he bought a bouquet and got one rose from it and kept making the rounds giving it to other girls. Who did he think he was? The Bachelor? This is so true. Like, I'm fine with like bodega flower. You know what? I'm not. I hate that shit. Buy nice flowers. Oh, they're expensive. Yeah, well, you know, blowjobs are too. Look on Backpage. My time, my mouth, it's got a value, boo. So yeah, if a rose isn't individually wrapped, red flag. Okay, so this one is dreadful. This one's dreadful. Valentine's Day 2012. Oh, poor Sarah. I was still dating my high school sweetheart in college. He got up in the middle of class, kissed me on the head, and told me he loved me, but he had to go. Panicked, I ran out of class looking for his car and saw he was gone. He came back to campus later. This is fucking wild. Told me he'd gotten a call from this girl he had slept with thinking she was pregnant, so he had to go to CVS with her to get a pregnancy test. I can't. I freaked out and slapped him in front of everyone and ran to my car crying. Good. Then I went home and looked up this girl on Tumblr. This is a wild ride. Looked up this girl on Tumblr and learned she had a whole blog about sleeping with my boyfriend and making fun of me. I learned she was this weird girl from our freshman comp class. I was heartbroken, bullied, embarrassed, and still forgave him that night and went out to Valentine's Day dinner with him and his family, shaking my head. I still can't believe this happened to me. I was so naive and just wanted to be loved. Definitely the worst. But that's the thing. It's like you're in this moment. You're like, okay, I guess we'll still go to dinner. Like, you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. All you can do is learn from it. So that, because it's like, of course, this is like a cringe situation. And just like the thing with like, you know, like we were reading about before, you're mad at yourself for like doing what you did and being the co-defendant in your own victim, in your own crime, your own victimhood. Okay. I broke up with a guy once and we were still living together. Ugh. And it was 3 days before Valentine's Day. He planned a surprise double date with my friends behind my back and I awkwardly did the date. And afterwards I asked him, why did you do that? And he said, I didn't think you were serious about breaking up with me. What a night. My God. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, Tori, Valentine's Day a few years ago. I was sick as a dog, but happy because my fiance had sent me the cutest Valentine's Day gift a day early so that all the girls in my work would see. That is cute. He was in New York for a few months on a work stint, and I was in LA getting our new condo ready for him to move in with me. I received an email from a Jane Doe informing me that he was cheating on me in New York, and attached were pictures of his dating profiles. Did I mention we had just flown to South Africa a month before to get his family's blessing and scout venues? He admitted that he had been out on one date. There's never one date. If they're on Tinder, there's never one date. There's never one fuck. Oh my God, I'm getting PTSD reading all this. He admitted he went out on one date and kissed the chick, but was adamant nothing else happened. It didn't matter, though. Trust was completely broken the minute he made the profiles, obviously. He blamed his actions on A, me being too busy with work, B, believing I was having an affair with the actual billionaire rock star who had asked me out a few months before. I, in fact, turned that guy down and remained faithful, even though he was more attractive, intelligent, and wealthy, because I thought my fiance and I had real love. Honestly, I've never regretted being loyal and not being a cheater more. Fuck dude sometimes, seriously. The upside was when he told me in one of our breakup conversations that I was never going to become an attorney or a writer because I had tons of talent but zero follow through. Since then, I've passed the California bar exam. I have written a book and I've started a successful business. Tori Patel, you are a bad bitch. So it really all turned out for the best. It was the kick in the pants from the universe that I needed. Don't get me wrong, it really freaking sucked at the time and for a while afterwards. But ultimately, I'm much happier and more fulfilled being single and killing it than I ever have been in any of my relationships, including that one. And that's where we must end, because that was a wild ride from start to finish with such a good ending. We can't control what guys do. We can't make them love us. We can't make them stay. We can't make them even just wait 24 hours so that they don't dump us on actual Valentine's Day like a monster. But we can learn, you know? And the way we get over the obsessions is to look back and learn. And it seems like, it's like, well, what am I going to learn from someone dumping me on Valentine's Day? Take that away. It's other red flags in the relationship that we need to learn from. Like with Kyle, like it was a red flag that he wanted to date his friend's girlfriend. Red flag. With Jack, it was a red flag that he was never supportive of my career. And yeah, maybe all these things manifested on like the worst possible day of the year. But had I been the one to keep my eyes open and not expect all this clarity from someone else, maybe I could have been in the driver's seat and been like, you know what? this is not good enough for me. There's something here that I don't feel like I need to tolerate. And no, this relationship isn't terrible. And yeah, I do like you, but I like me more. And I'm not going to have to explain to my inner self why I dialed down what I need, why I ignored red flags just to keep your bitch ass around. Because you know, at the end of the day, it doesn't even work. So, if you're heartbroken on Valentine's Day, gang, I get you. I'm right there with you. It's a hellscape. Do something fun for yourself. You don't need to go out and be like, we're doing Valentine's Day. We're reclaiming it. If you don't want to go out, you don't have to. But do something fun. Plan something fun for this weekend. Like I said in another video, book a ticket on a bus or a train, go 2 towns in any direction, and spend the day by yourself doing something fun. Go antiquing. Book a cute little photo shoot. Like, do something fun for yourself and remind yourself that you have freedom, you have power, and most importantly, you have peace. And no man is worth our peace. Go eat that goddamn Russell Stover's heart-shaped box. Eat them all. Eat them all by yourself. I won't tell anyone. Like I said, follow me on Instagram at shallonxo and find me on Cameo if you want a personalized little shout out from me. I promise I won't wear this bow. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. But this is a good point. It's like you can lean into Valentine's Day and get the nails and get the hair. It's not about a guy. It's about doing something that pleases you and almost like your inner child. So if you want to go make a bunch of cute little Valentines, if you want to eat a whole box of Whitman Sampler, you go do it, girl. This is your world. Boys are just living in it. I'll see you later, Shalloners. Happy Shallontine's Day.